Hello and welcome. Let's have an honest chat for a moment. Have you noticed that you're feeling a bit more tired than you used to? Maybe your ankles are a little puffy by the end of the day, or you just don't have that same get up and go you once did. It's easy to chalk these things up to just another birthday on the calendar. But what if I told you that these feelings aren't just a mandatory part of aging? What if they're signals from one of the most important, yet overlooked, systems in your body? Here's a fact that might surprise you. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, more than 1 in 3 American adults over the age of 65 is estimated to have chronic kidney disease. That's a staggering number. But here's the truly shocking part. As many as 9 out of 10 people who have it don't even know it. The signs are often silent, not appearing until significant damage has already been done. Today, we're going to talk about what your doctor might not have the time to explain in a 15-minute checkup. And if you've been telling yourself, well, this is just what getting older feels like, I'm here today to respectfully challenge that idea. In the next 25 minutes, we're going on a deep dive. We'll uncover the hidden saboteurs in your kitchen cabinet and your medicine chest that could be silently harming your kidneys. And most importantly, we'll give you a powerful toolkit of simple, practical strategies to help protect them, starting today. Our goal today is ambitious. We're going to shine a bright light on chronic kidney disease, a condition that affects millions of American seniors, yet remains shrouded in mystery for most. We'll explore why it happens and how you can take powerful steps to maintain your kidney health, which is so crucial for your overall vitality and independence. So, what do our kidneys actually do? Well, think of your kidneys as the most sophisticated water purification and waste management plant in the world, working 24/7 right inside your body. Every single day, these two fist-sized organs filter all the blood in your body many times over, about 150 quarts of it, in fact. They expertly pull out toxins, metabolic waste, and extra fluid, while carefully balancing essential salts and minerals like sodium, potassium, and calcium. They also produce hormones that help control your blood pressure, make red blood cells to fight fatigue, and keep your bones strong. When this plant gets damaged, that finely tuned system breaks down. Waste starts to build up, and the whole body can get into trouble. To make sure we're getting the best information, we'll be drawing on research and guidelines from trusted American institutions you know and respect, like the Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins Medicine, and the National Kidney Foundation, the nation's leading organization dedicated to the awareness, prevention, and treatment of kidney disease. To do this right, we're going to count down the top 10 surprising culprits that can harm your kidneys, from number 10 all the way to the number 1 offender. For each one, we'll talk about why it's a problem, and more importantly, the simple, practical steps you can take to protect yourself. You'll definitely want to stick around for our top 3. They are things many of us consume or do every single day without a second thought. And the number 1 culprit, the common drink from our title, might just be the biggest surprise of all. And a quick but very important reminder, I am not a doctor. This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice from your own physician. Always consult your personal doctor for any questions or concerns about your health. Now let's get started with our countdown. All right, let's start our countdown. Coming in at number 10 is something incredibly basic, yet so often overlooked, especially as we get older. Chronic dehydration. Now, why is this such a big deal for your kidneys? Think of your bloodstream like a river. When you're well hydrated, the river flows freely and smoothly, and your kidneys can easily filter out the debris and waste products. But when you're dehydrated, that river turns into thick, slow-moving sludge. Your kidneys have to work much, much harder to clean it, and over time, that constant strain can cause real damage. It's like trying to run your car's engine with not enough oil. Eventually, the parts start to wear out. Water is essential for keeping the tiny blood vessels in the kidneys open, allowing blood and nutrients to get where they need to go. This is especially critical for seniors. As we age, our body's fluid reserves naturally decrease, and our sense of thirst becomes less sharp. This means you can be heading into a state of dehydration without even feeling thirsty. It's a quiet problem that can have loud consequences, including an increased risk for kidney stones and urinary tract infections, both of which can harm the kidneys. I think of my neighbor Carol. She was always feeling tired and dealing with nagging headaches. She thought it was just a side effect of her blood pressure medication. But when her doctor dug a little deeper during a checkup, it turned out she was only drinking a couple of glasses of water a day. Her body was essentially running on empty. Once she made a conscious effort to keep a water bottle with her and sip throughout the day, she was amazed at how much more energy she had. So your action step here is simple but powerful. Don't wait until you're thirsty to drink. That's your body's late signal. Instead, get a favorite water bottle or a special glass and keep it with you as a visual reminder. Aim to sip steadily throughout the day. If you find plain water boring, try infusing it with a slice of lemon, a few cucumber slices, or a handful of berries for a touch of flavor without the sugar. Now it's important to mention the red flags. If you're experiencing severe symptoms like confusion, extreme dizziness, or you're unable to urinate, that's a sign of serious dehydration, and you should seek medical attention right away. And a very important note, if you have been diagnosed with advanced kidney disease or congestive heart failure, your doctor may have you on a fluid restriction. In that case, it is absolutely essential to follow your doctor's specific advice on how much fluid is safe for you. So we've covered the importance of what you should be drinking. But what about the things you might be taking for those everyday aches and pains? That brings us directly to our next culprit at number 9. Coming in at number 9 is something found in nearly every American medicine cabinet. Something we reach for without a second thought for a headache or a sore back. Common over-the-counter painkillers, specifically a group called NSAIDs. NSAID stands for non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drug. This includes very familiar names like ibuprofen, which you know as Advil or Motrin, and the Proxen sodium, which is sold as Aleve. Here's the simple science of why they can be a problem. These drugs work by blocking chemicals in your body called prostaglandins. Prostaglandins are responsible for causing pain and inflammation, so blocking them makes you feel better. The problem is, they also play a crucial role in keeping the blood vessels that lead to your kidneys wide open, ensuring a healthy blood flow. Let's use an analogy. Imagine the blood vessels supplying your kidneys are like garden hoses. Prostaglandins are like the nozzle being turned to a full, wide spray, ensuring a strong, steady flow of water to your garden. When you take an NSAID, it's like pinching that hose. The flow of blood is reduced. If you just pinch it for a second to treat a rare headache, it's probably no big deal. But if you're pinching that hose every single day for chronic arthritis pain, you're chronically starving your kidneys of the blood and oxygen they need to survive. A friend of mine, a gentleman named Frank, was a weekend warrior in his garden. His knees would ache every Sunday night, so he'd pop a couple of ibuprofen before bed, and a couple more on Monday morning to get through the day. He did this for years, thinking nothing of it. It wasn't until his routine annual blood work showed a drop in his kidney function that his doctor connected the dots. That harmless habit was taking a serious toll on these vital organs. Your action step is to become an informed consumer of your own medications. First, if you do need an NSAID, always use the lowest effective dose for the shortest time possible. Second, and most importantly, talk to your doctor or pharmacist about your pain relief options. For many people, especially those with kidney concerns, a safer first choice for pain might be acetaminophen, which is Tylenol. Another option for joint pain could be a topical NSAID gel, like Voltaren, which you rub directly on the skin. Because very little of the drug gets into your bloodstream, the risk to your kidneys is much lower. The red flags here are clear. If you already have a diagnosis of kidney disease, heart disease, or high blood pressure, the National Kidney Foundation advises that you should avoid NSAIDs unless you are specifically directed to take them by your doctor. If you are taking them regularly and you start to notice new swelling in your legs and ankles, or that you're urinating less often, that's a definite sign to schedule a visit with your doctor. From the medicine cabinet, let's head back to the refrigerator. At number 8, we have a drink that many people believe is a perfectly healthy choice. At number 8, we're tackling a big misconception. It's the belief that all fruit juice is a healthy choice, something to be enjoyed in large quantities every morning. The science here is all about sugar and fiber. When you eat a whole piece of fruit, like an orange, you get the sweet juice, but it comes naturally packaged with fiber. That fiber is incredibly important because it slows down how quickly your body absorbs the sugar. But when you drink a glass of store-bought orange juice, even one that says 100% juice, you've essentially stripped away all that protective fiber. What you're left with is a highly concentrated shot of sugar that hits your bloodstream like a tidal wave. Why does this matter for your kidneys? Because uncontrolled high blood sugar is the #1 cause of chronic kidney disease and kidney failure in the United States. When your blood sugar is consistently high, it damages the tiny, delicate blood vessels all over your body, including the microscopic filtering units in your kidneys. Day after day, year after year, this damage adds up, impairing your kidneys' ability to do their job. My aunt swore by her large glass of grape juice every single morning. She had read it was good for her heart and was convinced she was doing something great for her health. But she was also pre-diabetic and was having a terrible time getting her blood sugar levels under control. It wasn't until her doctor pointed it out that she realized her healthy juice was delivering as much sugar as a can of soda, completely sabotaging her efforts to manage her health. So the action step is simple. Eat your fruit, don't drink it. You'll get all the vitamins and minerals, plus the beneficial fiber. If you truly enjoy juice, think of it as a treat, not a health drink. Have a small 4-ounce glass, that's about half a coffee mug, not a giant 12-ounce tumbler. A great tip is to dilute it with an equal amount of water or sparkling water to cut the sugar content in half, while still getting the flavor you enjoy. The red flags are particularly important here. If you have diabetes or pre-diabetes, it's absolutely crucial to monitor your intake of all sugary drinks, and that includes fruit juice. And if you've been told you have later-stage kidney disease, your doctor may have you on a potassium-restricted diet. Many juices, like orange, prune, and tomato juice, are very high in potassium and would need to be limited or avoided to protect your health. Now, this idea of hidden sugar in our daily drinks leads us right into our next culprit at number 7, a ritual many of us can't imagine starting our day without. Coming in at number 7 is a nuanced one because it's about a beloved daily ritual for millions: your morning coffee or that afternoon glass of sweet tea. Let's be very clear right from the start. The problem here is almost never the coffee or the tea itself. In fact, Studies have shown that moderate consumption of plain black coffee may actually be protective for your kidneys, possibly because it helps lower inflammation and improve how your body handles blood sugar. The real culprit, the wolf in sheep's clothing, is what we add to these drinks: sugar. The science is exactly what we just discussed with fruit juice. When you load up your morning coffee with multiple spoons of sugar and flavored creamers, or brew a pitcher of classic Southern sweet tea, you are transforming a potentially harmless or even beneficial beverage into a high-sugar delivery system. And as we know, that daily flood of sugar contributes to the risk of developing type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure, which are the two leading causes of kidney damage in adults. I remember visiting family down south, and my cousin would brew a gallon of sweet tea that was a staple in their fridge. Everyone, from the kids to the grandparents, would drink several large glasses a day. It was just part of the culture. But when his father was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, the doctor identified that daily sweet tea habit as a major contributor to his health issues. It wasn't an obvious villain, like a candy bar. It was a hidden source of massive amounts of sugar. The action step here is not about giving up your favorite morning ritual, but about modifying it to be kidney-friendly. If you're a coffee drinker, try to gradually reduce the amount of sugar you add. Experiment with a dash of cinnamon or a drop of vanilla extract for flavor instead. If you use creamers, read the labels and choose one that is low in sugar. If you love iced tea, try making it unsweetened and adding a squeeze of fresh lemon or a sprig of mint. The main red flag is your overall sugar intake. If you have diabetes or have been told your blood sugar is high, it is essential to look at all sources of sugar in your diet, and that includes what you drink. And if you have advanced kidney disease, be aware that large amounts of coffee can be high in potassium, so you should stick to moderate amounts, like less than 3 cups a day, and always follow your doctor's guidance. From a morning ritual to an evening one, let's move on to number 6. Our number 6 culprit is another common habit for many American adults: regular, excessive alcohol consumption. Now, the National Kidney Foundation states that an occasional drink, one or two now and then, is usually not harmful for a person with healthy kidneys. The danger comes from heavy or binge drinking. For women, heavy drinking is defined as more than 3 drinks in a day, or 7 per week. For men, it's more than 4 drinks in a day, or 14 per week. And research shows that this level of consumption can actually double your risk of developing chronic kidney disease. Alcohol harms your kidneys with a powerful 1-2 punch. The first punch is direct. Alcohol is a diuretic, meaning it makes you urinate more. This can easily lead to dehydration, which, as we learned with culprit number 10, reduces blood flow and puts a major strain on your kidney's ability to filter your blood. The second punch is indirect, but just as damaging, and it involves your liver. Your liver and kidneys work as a team. One of the liver's main jobs is to filter alcohol from the blood. Chronic heavy drinking can lead to liver disease. When the liver is damaged and can't do its job efficiently, the kidneys have to pick up the slack, working overtime to filter not only their usual waste, but the extra load the liver can't handle. This added strain on top of the dehydration effect can severely impair kidney function over time. I had a client once, a man in his late 60s who was retired and had fallen into the habit of having 3 or 4 cocktails every evening while watching the news. He didn't consider himself an alcoholic. It was just his routine. But he started noticing swelling in his ankles and was feeling constantly fatigued. His lab work revealed both elevated liver enzymes and declining kidney function. His nightly ritual was overloading his body's entire filtration system. The action step is all about moderation. First, understand what one drink actually is. It's one 12-ounce beer, one 5-ounce glass of wine, or one 1.5-ounce shot of hard liquor. It's not a giant goblet of wine or a massive mug of beer. If you enjoy alcohol, stick within the recommended moderate limits. And be sure to drink plenty of water alongside any alcoholic beverage to counteract the dehydrating effects. The red flags are clear. If you find yourself regularly exceeding those heavy drinking limits, it's time to have an honest conversation with your doctor about the potential impact on your health. And if you already have liver disease or kidney disease, it is absolutely critical to talk to your doctor about whether any amount of alcohol is safe for you. Okay, let's take a quick breath. We're halfway through our countdown, and we've already covered a lot of important ground. So far, we've uncovered the hidden dangers of dehydration, common NSAID painkillers, the illusion of healthy fruit juice, the hidden sugar in our morning coffee and tea, and the strain from excessive alcohol. The common thread here is that these are all small, seemingly innocent habits that can add up to big problems over time. They are choices that are completely within our control. And by the way, if you're finding this information valuable and it's making you think, it would mean the world to us if you just take a second to tap that like button below. It's a small click for you, but it tells YouTube that this is important information, and it helps other folks in our community find this video. Thank you for that. Now, are you ready for the top 5? This is where we get into the real game changers, the things that can have a major impact on your long-term kidney health. Let's dive in. At number 5, we're venturing into the booming industry of vitamins and supplements, specifically targeting the myth of the all-natural supplement. This is one of the biggest traps in modern health. We see the word natural or herbal on a bottle, and we automatically assume it means safe. But that is absolutely not the case, especially when it comes to your kidneys. The supplement industry is largely unregulated, and many products on the shelves can be incredibly dangerous for people with or that risk for kidney disease. Here's why. First, some herbs are directly toxic to the kidneys. The medical term is nephrotoxic. They can cause direct damage and inflammation. The National Kidney Foundation has identified a long list of herbs that are especially risky, including things like astragalus, cat's claw, horsetail, licorice root, and stinging nettle, just to name a few. Second, many herbal supplements, even if not directly toxic, are packed with high levels of minerals like potassium or phosphorus. For someone with healthy kidneys, this might not be an issue, but if your kidney function is already compromised, your body can't clear these excess minerals, leading to dangerously high levels in your blood that can affect your heart and bones. I once spoke with a woman who had early-stage kidney disease and was trying to manage it with diet. She started taking a popular kidney support herbal blend she bought online, thinking she was helping herself. But her next blood test showed a sharp spike in her potassium levels and a drop in her kidney function. It turned out the support blend contained several herbs that were actually stressing her already vulnerable kidneys. She had the best intentions, but was unknowingly doing more harm than good. Your action step is to treat every single supplement, herb, and vitamin with the same seriousness as a prescription medication. Do not take anything new without first discussing it with your doctor, your pharmacist, or a registered dietitian who specializes in kidney health. They can review the ingredients and tell you if it's safe for you and your specific health situation. Never assume natural means safe. The red flag here is universal. If you'll have any stage of kidney disease, from mild to advanced, or if you have had a kidney transplant, the general recommendation is to avoid herbal supplements altogether, unless they are specifically approved by your nephrologist or healthcare team. The risks of harmful interactions or direct damage are simply too high. Now, from natural energy to artificial energy, let's look at our fourth biggest offender. Coming in hot at number 4 is a relatively modern invention that has become incredibly popular: the energy drink. If you were to design a beverage in a lab specifically to harm your kidneys, you would probably end up with something that looks a lot like a typical energy drink. These drinks are a toxic cocktail of ingredients that create a perfect storm of stress on your renal system. It's not just one ingredient, but the extreme combination of them. Let's break down the science. First, you have the massive sugar load. Second, you have the extreme levels of caffeine. Finally, you have other stimulants like taurine and guarana, which, when combined with all that caffeine and sugar, can cause a sharp spike in heart rate and blood pressure, the direct stressor on the delicate filtering system of the kidneys. Think about a young man I read about who was working 2 jobs to make ends meet. He was exhausted and started relying on 2 or 3 energy drinks a day to get by. Within a few months, he ended up in the emergency room with heart palpitations and signs of acute kidney injury. His body simply couldn't handle the constant chemical onslaught. While this is an extreme case, it illustrates the potent effect these drinks can have. The action step here is unequivocal: avoid energy drinks. There is simply no nutritional benefit to them, and the potential risks, especially for older adults or anyone with underlying heart or blood pressure issues, are significant. If you need an energy boost, a much safer choice would be a small cup of black coffee or tea, or better yet, a brisk walk to get your blood flowing. The red flags are the drinks themselves. Given their combination of high sugar, extreme caffeine, and other stimulants, they are best avoided entirely to protect your long-term kidney and heart health. From a drink you can buy at the store to a substance you might encounter at the hospital, let's move to number 3. Our number 3 culprit is something you would never think of as a drink, but it's a substance that is put into your body that your kidneys must filter. It's the contrast dye used in certain medical imaging tests like CT scans and MRIs. This is all about patient empowerment and being your own best advocate. Contrast dyes are special substances, often given through an IV, that help doctors see your organs, blood vessels, and tissues more clearly on a scan. They are incredibly useful diagnostic tools. However, for some people, these dyes can cause a rare but serious problem called contrast-induced nephropathy, or CIN, which is a sharp, sudden decline in kidney function after the scan. The science is straightforward. The dye is a foreign substance that your kidneys must work to filter out of your blood. In people with healthy, robust kidneys, this is usually not a problem. But in people with pre-existing kidney disease, even mild undiagnosed CKD, the kidneys are already working with a handicap. Forcing them to filter this concentrated dye can be the straw that breaks the camel's back, causing acute damage. The risk is significantly higher for older adults, especially those who also have diabetes or heart disease. I know a woman whose husband needed a heart scan. The doctor ordered a CT angiogram with contrast. Because she had watched a video just like this one, she remembered to ask the crucial question. "My husband has diabetes and has been told his kidney function is a little low. Is the contrast dye safe for him?" The doctor paused, checked his chart, and said, "That's an excellent question. Let's order a different type of scan that doesn't require contrast to be on the safe side." Her simple question may have saved her husband from serious kidney damage. This leads to your powerful action step: become an active participant in your medical care. Anytime a doctor orders a CT scan or MRI for you, ask these three simple questions. 1. Does this test use a contrast agent? 2. Given my health history, mentioning any kidney issues, diabetes, or heart problems, what are the risks to my kidneys? And 3. Are there any alternative tests we could consider that don't use contrast? The red flags are your own risk factors. If you know you have chronic kidney disease, diabetes, or are over the age of 75, you are in a higher risk category. It is vital that you communicate this to any doctor ordering an imaging test. Most cases of CIN are reversible, but prevention is always the best medicine. Now, for our top two, these are two of the most common beverages in America, and the story behind them is one of the biggest surprises in modern health research. Coming in at the number 2 spot is a drink that millions of Americans switched to, believing they were doing something good for their health. This is the story of the diet soda betrayal. For decades, we were told that the big enemy in soda was sugar. So logically, switching to a zero-calorie, sugar-free diet soda seemed like a smart, healthy move. But in recent years, major long-term studies have revealed a shocking twist. One landmark study, the Nurses' Health Study, followed thousands of women for over 20 years. The researchers found that women who drank 2 or more diet sodas per day had a 30% greater reduction in their kidney function compared to women who didn't drink soda. Another large study found that consuming more than 7 glasses of diet soda per week was associated with nearly double the risk of developing end-stage kidney disease. This was a stunning revelation. How could a drink with no sugar be causing this harm? The leading theory points to 2 key ingredients: artificial sweeteners and phosphoric acid. This high phosphorus content can significantly increase the acid load on the kidneys. Forcing the kidneys to process this extra acid day after day, year after year, appears to wear them down and accelerate the decline in their function. Think of the millions of people, perhaps even yourself, who diligently switched from red can Coke to silver can Diet Coke, feeling virtuous with every sip. A friend's mother did exactly that. He was borderline diabetic and was so proud of herself for cutting out sugary sodas. She replaced them with 3 or 4 diet sodas a day. She couldn't understand why, over the next decade, her kidney function numbers kept getting worse despite her healthy change. It was a true betrayal by a product she trusted. The action step is to see diet soda not as a health drink, but as an artificial chemical beverage that should be limited or avoided. If you're looking for a fizzy, zero-calorie drink, a much better choice is plain sparkling water or seltzer. You can add a squeeze of fresh lime or a splash of unsweetened cranberry juice for flavor. The goal is to move away from these chemically complex drinks and towards simpler, more natural hydration. The red flag from the research is a clear pattern. The risk seems to increase significantly with higher consumption. If you're in the habit of drinking multiple diet sodas every day, this is a major sign that it's time to cut back to protect your long-term kidney health. And that brings us to the number 1 spot, the most common drink that through multiple mechanisms is truly wrecking your kidneys. And here we are. The number 1 culprit on our list, the common drink that poses a multifaceted threat to your kidneys, is, without a doubt, regular sugar-sweetened soda. The first major problem is the high fructose corn syrup, HFCS, that sweetens most sodas. Specific research has shown that consuming HFCS-sweetened soft drinks can directly harm the kidneys by increasing vascular resistance and reducing blood flow inside the kidneys. This essentially constricts the blood vessels and makes it harder for your kidneys to get the blood they need to function. The second problem, as we saw with diet soda, is the phosphoric acid. In sugary sodas, it plays an even more sinister role. Not only does it increase the acid load on the kidneys and contribute to the formation of painful kidney stones, but high phosphorus levels in your blood can cause your body to pull calcium out of your bones. This weakens your bones and can lead to dangerous calcium deposits in your blood vessels, heart, and lungs. So a daily soda habit is a triple threat. It spikes your blood sugar, which can lead to diabetes, the number one cause of kidney failure. It directly reduces blood flow within the kidneys, and it promotes kidney stones and dangerous calcium deposits. It's a relentless, multi-pronged attack on your body's filtration system. The story here is all too common. Think of anyone you know who has a one soda a day habit. It seems so small, but that one soda a day, over 20, 30, or 40 years, adds up to an incredible amount of sugar and phosphoric acid that the kidneys have had to process. It's a slow, silent erosion of function that often goes completely unnoticed until a doctor delivers the bad news that the damage is significant and often irreversible. The action step here is the most important one in this entire video. Make a plan to eliminate sugary sodas from your diet. This is arguably one of the single most powerful things you can do for your kidney health, your blood sugar, your weight, and your overall well-being. Don't try to go cold turkey if the habit is deeply ingrained. Start by cutting back. If you drink 2 a day, cut to 1. Then 1 every other day. Replace it with the healthier alternatives we've discussed: infused water, sparkling water, or unsweetened iced tea. The red flag is any regular consumption. If soda is a daily or even several times a week habit for you, that is a major risk factor for poor health outcomes. Seeing it not as a harmless treat, but as a direct threat to your independence and vitality is the first step toward making a change. So, as we've seen today, from the water we don't drink to the sodas we do, protecting these vital organs isn't about one magic pill or a single drastic change. It's about a series of small, intelligent choices you have the power to make every single day. It's about being aware of the hidden sugar, questioning the harmless habits, and becoming an active partner in your own healthcare. The most important message I want you to take away from our time together is this: you are the chief executive of your own health. You are in the driver's seat. The knowledge we've shared today isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to empower you. You have the power to make changes that can dramatically improve your quality of life and help you maintain your strength and independence for years to come. Now, I truly want to hear from you. Which of these 10 culprits was the biggest aha moment for you? Was there something on this list that made you stop and think? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read every single one, and your stories help our entire community learn and grow. If you enjoyed this deep dive and you want more practical, no-nonsense content to help you live a healthier, more vibrant life, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the little notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Be well, stay informed, and remember to take great care of yourself. Here's to your health, and I'll see you in the next video.